Well, I've completed the first part, the gears and so forth, transmission. The next stage, or the next part, is putting the front and the rear suspension on, the C-hubs and the carriers, putting the bearings and so forth back into it. That's going to be the next thing I'm going to do. So I guess to start out, I'm going to do the front. Assembling it back together like such. And doing it like that. The suspension arms, putting them back together. I take the pin, slide it back through. That one. Do the same thing on the other side. This hinge pin. Okay, flexible. Now the tricky part right here, I have these E-clips I gotta put on. And like all E-clips, you gotta be careful when you put them on, because if you're not, they might end up flying all over the place. So you gotta kind of keep an eye on them. Now it'd be better if I had a flat nose pair of pliers to snap it on, but I don't have them right this minute. So I'm gonna have to do what I can with what I have until I get it. This is the other E-clip. It goes on this one. Get it on there. Yeah, sometimes this can be aggravating because they're so small and so thin. There we go. Now we have that on there. Next thing I'm going to do is put the hub carriers on. Put them in there. They sit in there like that on both sides. Then I put the pins in them. Same way, slide it through the hole, get it in there on both sides. Then I do the same thing because I have another set of E-clips I gotta put on. Put this E-clip on. Alright, that's that E-clip. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hub carriers on. Alright. Now they sit in there like this. So what I'm going to do, I got two bearings, one that goes in the back and one that goes in the front. One bearing for that one. One bearing for this side. Then there's a bearing on that goes in here on that side. And that side. Okay. I got your little joint that slides in there like that. Then I take the little pin and it goes in here like this. Now some people, they actually put a washer right here for like a little space, and that I guess helps so that the hinge pin won't rub up against it and wear the bearing down any faster. Hex adapter, that's one. Do the same thing to the other side. Slide it in there. Put the pin in there like such. Put the adapter on. Wheel adapter. Alright, that's on. Now the next thing, I got these like little cups. They're kind of like washers that help they sit inside this sea carrier, inside these two holes, and what that does, it allows it to turn freely. So I pop one on the bottom. Then I pop one up on top. Like such. Then I put the carriers in. That's one. And then I put the screw in there. Get that going. Do the same thing to the bottom of it. And I do the same process on the other side. That's that. Now I put the top one on. Like that. Put the hub in there. Like that. And I screw it in, and that's basically the front. You gotta line it up. There we go. Got it in there. Nice and snug. I do the bottom one. There you have it. And that's the front. And the front will sit like this. In there. Then there's 4 screws that go on the bottom of it. Take them out. Turn it over. They go into these 4 holes. I screw them back in. Now they're stationary. Once I do that, my little screw gun, screw them in. Now actually, I should hold off putting these screws in because I still got to put the bulkhead on the top, but that's how it would go. Once the bulkhead is on, which should be the next part after I get the back one done. But that's when it would come up through there, and then this part right here would screw into the bottom of this, and it would sit like this, and then these 4 screws would go into it and keep it stable. So like I said, I'm going to hold off 1 second, and I'm going to do the back. Now the back is pretty much the same way as the front as far as the assembling of it. They're basically the same. Here's the turnbuckles. The turnbuckles, they go inside like this on it, and then once I put the shock towers on these 2 right here, then I tighten it up, and it will fit in between, the dog bones will fit in between these outdrive cups right here. So I'm going to do the back part now, which is basically the same way I did the front. I'm going to take that, put this piece in there like that, put the arms on like that, making sure that it's the right way. Like this for the shots, because that's the little ball ends. And I come and I put this on like that, and this would go the same way. I take the hinge pin screw, I slide it through, like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Slide the pin through. Now this one doesn't have a C-clamps. They have threads on the ends of it, so they just screw right on in. Gotta line it up. one. And this is the second one. Making sure this lines up. How about that? Of all times, my screw gun wants to die on me. So now I gotta go back to manual. Alright, it goes like that. Then the carriers, they sit in like that. Before I do that, I'm gonna put the bearings and so forth back in the front and the back of it. Put that back in there like that. Put the pin. Back in like that. Put the adapter on. Like that. Then do the same thing to the other side. Put my bearings in, boom. That's one. Put the other one in. That's two. Put that in. Put the pin back in. The adapter goes in like that. Right and left side. There's a little number or letter on the carrier that lets you know right side and left side. Line them up on the right sides. Then you take your other hinge screw, line it up, thread it in. That's one. This side is two. Now, my screw gun I gotta charge up, so I'm gonna do it manually, which is no problem. Screw them in like such. Alright, there you go. Free moving. No binding or nothing like that. And then that sits on there like that. Once again, I will put the dog bones in here, but really they're just going to be in the way or not used because I don't have the bulkhead on. And like I said, I gotta screw them down once I put the bulkhead on. Now this is what it should look like now. But this is what it looks like now, minus the bulkheads. It's starting to take form. The car is starting to look something. You're starting to get an idea of what it should look like. Then these will go in there like such. Now this is the steering part. The steering, it sits in here like this on these two posts. slides down like that, and they connect to the actually it's upside down. They sit on there like that. And I would screw this on, but I can't do that part yet either. Now the turnbuckles that go to it, they connect to the ball joints right there. There you have